Lebe is now officially offering a certification. We call it LSC, Lebe Certified. This is a 1-year mentorship where we teach you all the ins and outs of teaching kettlebells to your clients. If you want more information, check the first link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe here. In order to make it official that we now start certifying people, which we are already at it. We have one coach who is getting certified in Scotland and another one in Denmark. I want to share 10 tips that can help kettlebell coaches take their teaching and coaching game to the next level. The first 5 are more related to the training aspect of being a coach, and the second 5 are more related to the business side of things. Number 1, be empathetic and loving. In all you're getting, get understanding on how to be more loving and more empathetic towards your clients. Listen, they walk into your gym, they have never touched a kettlebell or never even touched a weight before in their life maybe. You have to welcome them with open arms. And in many cases, they will feel inadequate, especially when you demonstrate them a lift or a technique or an exercise. Sometimes they'll be standing next to you thinking, wow, you make it look so easy. In my case, it'll never look like this. So empathy is the skill of being able to see the pain, the problem, and the situation from the client's eyes in that regard, and be loving and understanding. Because you have to realize that for many people, in order to start getting coaching or getting training, this is a huge step and a huge burden that they have to overcome. They have to ask somebody for help. So welcome them with a lot of love and a lot of empathy. Number 2, master the kettlebell first. This shouldn't come as no surprise, but there is a reason why it is number 2 and why love and empathy is number 1. I want to quote the Bible right here. Listen, if I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but I do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but I don't have love, I gain nothing. So you can snatch a 32 kg kettlebell for over 200 reps for the next 10 minutes. You can do a strict Turkish get-up with a 60 kg kettlebell with proper form 5 times. You can swing an 80 kg kettlebell up to chest level and make it look easy. If you don't have love, if you don't have empathy, it all matters nothing in the eyes of your client, because your client is all about the help that he or she can get from you to solve their problem, and not to make you look good or to make you demonstrate how powerful and how great you are. As a coach, you are a servant. So of course it is important to master the kettlebell and to understand it, because you don't want to look like a fool when you present something. But at the end of the day, you want to understand that you have to be able to teach it as well. Number 3, you have to understand the nuances of biomechanics, anthropometrics, and a little bit of biology. Listen, you don't have to be a scientist and you don't have to have a PhD in that regard, but you have to have the basics down pat. For example, you have to see if somebody has a limited range of mobility in their hip and their shoulder. You maybe have to understand if they come from a background with a lot of pain, or they have a situation in their life, which many people have when they come to see you and get coaching. Then you want to understand on where they come from. Again, you don't have to be a master in that regard, and you don't have to be a doctor and give them prescription and medication. Matter of fact, I would recommend you not do any sort of stuff like this, because this maybe lies outside your scope of practice, but you want to understand the basics so you can serve them well. Number 4, form is important, but please do not overdo it. Do not sacrifice your workout on the altar of perfect technique. You will have a lot of people come into your gym, like I mentioned in number 1, who have never touched a weight before. So even if you give them all the important fundamentals, even if you teach them by the book, as it has been told by whoever your guru or your coach is or was, they will still fail because it's their first swings. And we always say the first swings are the worst swings. And that's normal. Remember when you got started, yes, you got all the proper information, but now you have to apply that information, because knowledge isn't power per se. Applied knowledge is power. So they have to apply the information that you give them. And if you always judge them according to perfect form, they maybe feel inadequate after a couple of minutes or sessions or whatever, and then they stop coming, or they think, hey, it'll never look as good as you do it. And overcoaching is a real thing. This happened to me as well. Sometimes I give too many cues. I coach too much because I want them to I want the exercise to look perfect. I want them to have the most bang for the buck. I want them to get the full joy of the exercise. But reality will come down on us and show us that people will sometimes fail, and that's totally fine. And even, especially in a group setting, sometimes you cannot be at everybody's place at once, and then maybe somebody will fail to a certain extent, which is normal. You don't have to judge a client on perfect form. It's all about a good lift. And here comes empathy again. You want to help them reach that spot, because remember, most people who come into your gym think that they are inadequate. So it is your job to make them feel like they are making progress, even though they are just starting out. Number 5, let them try and let them fail. Yes, we have to be welcoming. We have to show them a lot of love, but they have to fine-tune their senses to their body's signals. And sometimes these signals are completely warped. I think our bodies are sending us these signals, but if we ignore them all the time, then the receptors are not there anymore. We're not fine-tuning our systems, and then we don't even listen to our body, or we don't see or hear the cues. So let them try. Their body knows best, and let them fail. That's totally fine. And if they maybe mess up, yes, you can tell them. You don't have to be bad. You don't have to yell at them. But of course you can tell them this wasn't a good rep, and it's totally fine. Who cares? Nobody cares at the end of the day. I don't think you have to always sugarcoat the situation, because hey, they're trying to learn something, and at the same time you don't want to bash them if something wasn't perfect or wasn't right from the get-go, or even if they mess up after they've mastered form and technique. Sometimes I'm a little bit tough, I'm a little bit harsh. I'm saying, for example, let's do a clean and press, and if somebody looks at me like this, not knowing what the exercise is, and they've been with us for a couple of months or years, then I'm a little bit strict and harsh. People like this as well, but it has to be a balance. It's all about that nuance. Number 6, here comes the business side of things. Let clients pay in advance first before they get coaching. You want to give your clients the best experience possible when they come into your gym. And in order to do this, I believe the money situation has to be settled in advance. It all has to be taken care of so you can just focus on coaching. There will always be a looming thought in the back of your head if the client who didn't pay shows up, and now you're coaching them, and now in between or before the session, which makes the whole situation even worse, you're like, hey, there's this outstanding bill that you didn't pay. Can we do something about it? And then the client's like, yeah, I'm going to pay it next month. I'm going to pay it next week. And you're like, yeah, I need the money now. And now you get another session that you're supposed to be paying. So this leads to a lot of hassle and unnecessary discussions on the gym floor. So if you take matters in your own hands, saying, listen, as soon as you pay, you can come in. This works. You just have to educate your clients. They have to know what situation they walk into. And if they accept it, you're perfectly fine. And if they don't accept it, they don't become your clients, which is also perfectly fine. Number 7, know your value and know your worth as a coach. If people want my time, they have to pay enough money to compensate me for this, because time is that one currency that I will never get back. So you have to charge accordingly. And now you may be wondering, well, how can I increase my hourly rate or my value? Because your worth as a human being, I don't think it has anything to do with your value from the economic side of things. But you can increase it by becoming an expert in your area, by becoming well-known, and by becoming the guy or the gal that everybody flocks to because they are so loving, so welcoming, and so passionate about what they do. Number 8, be open to constructive feedback, especially when you put yourself out there on social, on IG or YouTube. There will be feedback, believe me. And there will be a lot of trolls and a lot of negative stuff. And even in the most vile and most negative stuff, sometimes there is a kernel of truth buried beneath all the hate that people are sending towards your way. And the funny thing is, the more people hate you and the more people jump on you, in the online world especially, which I think is funny, the more they show you that they actually watch and follow your stuff, which makes them probably a fan. It's a strange situation. Constructive feedback is very important because it opens up your eyes and opens up your ears and opens up your mind to feedback in general. And if very intelligent people give you a critique, then you might as well want to listen, and you want to detach your emotions from your profession. I know it's a hard thing to do, and I know you don't have to do it 100% in every situation, but when it comes to feedback, sometimes we are so emotionally triggered if somebody says something about our craft or about the way we do it, that we don't even listen. And I cannot emphasize enough how much I have learned through the feedback I have received from clients, subscribers, people, random people on the internet, random commenters, and worldwide kettlebell experts. It has sharpened my vision. And I always consider myself to be sitting on the table with the greatest minds in the kettlebell world and just the greatest subscribers in general. And then I always want to have an open ear. So even if I disagree with somebody, at least I want to listen. Number 9, you don't have to be an athlete, but you have to be a serious lifter. You don't have to hoist weights that champions and professionals do, but you have to move those weights and those kettlebells on a regular basis. You have to put in the reps. You have to sharpen your skill with the kettlebell. And I'm also on that front that says you have to look the part if you want to teach the part. We have to walk the walk if we want to talk the talk. If we talk about exercise and diet and teaching people how to live healthier lives and become stronger and fitter and all that beautiful things that come along with lifting and training with kettlebells, then this right here is a testimonial of our lifestyle. Number 10, you're a businessman, a businesswoman, you're a salesperson, whether you like it or not. Listen, passion is all beautiful. Technique, form, all beautiful. Training with kettlebells all day, every day, it's all beautiful. All fun and games. But hey, if there's no food on the table, there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to be adequately compensated for your work. And that requires you to be a business person and a sales person. You have to sell your stuff. You have to sell your worth, and you have to walk around with your elbows sometimes. You have to put yourself out there. You have to have confidence. You have to have charisma. And if you combine confidence and charisma with skill, you are a beast, and there's nothing in your way that can stop you. Now, there's 2 reasons why you want to be a great salesperson. A, this gives you enough money to do this as a coach full-time, which means you can dedicate more time to your craft. Awesome. Which means you will improve your worth in the end, which means your value goes up, which means you will become more successful and you will be able to share your mission with more people. The second reason is the downside that I want to share with you. If you do this coach thing only part-time, this means the coach who's doing it full-time will always be ahead of you. This means that this person will probably take away your business one day and you are done and you can stop being a coach because you can't put food on the table. Now, I don't believe in a scarcity mindset. I don't think that we cannot share with each other, but at the end of the day, it's still somewhat of a tough competition. Bonus tip, you have to have a main mission that drives your why. On a side note, I want to recommend this great video from Simon Sinek. I think it's called The Golden Circle. Type it in on YouTube and you'll find it. Let me share our mission statement. It says, Founder Gregory, personal trainer Angie, and Staffy Gypsy form the backbone of Lebe stock. Our job is to help you make kettlebell training a part of your life. We also recognize our responsibility towards society. A healthy lifestyle can relieve the pressure on our healthcare system and reduce losses in the labor market. This is our mission statement. You have to know your why, because if you know your why, your what and how becomes way more powerful. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. If you're looking for kettlebell courses that can help you lose weight, build muscle, and improve your kettlebell technique, then check out the Lebe Stock Academy. Let us help you discover a new perspective on kettlebell training, making it simple and easy for you to understand. Join the waiting list of your desired course now and secure your spot when it's open for enrollment. Link is in the description.